David, you were about as high as anybody on Justin Fields earlier in the season. What are you seeing in him now?
Struggles. When he started the season, I tell you what, after 2 games, I was like, man, him and Trevor Lawrence might battle for this #1 spot because he's got so much ability and so much just – when you watch him throw a football, the accuracy is really good, really good. I mean, he can put it right where he wants to put it. He's a big, strong kid. But tell you what, the struggle has been real the last – against Indiana, you watch him. Against Northwestern, you watch him. And I think holding onto the football a little bit too long, not seeing things as quickly as I'd like him to see things, he's still – tremendously talented, and he can do some great things. But I've seen him struggle a little bit. So he was, to me, maybe you're battling with Trevor Lawrence for the 1 spot in the NFL draft, and now I think he's fighting for probably the #2 or the #3 spot after watching him throughout these last 5 games.
Wow, #2 or #3, and we remind you that Todd McShay had his recent draft order, and he's got BYU's quarterback slightly ahead of him. Desmond, how concerning are Fields' performances in big games this season?
Very concerning because the expectations were so high coming into the 2020 season for Justin Fields and the Ohio State Buckeyes, especially the offense, and to see him struggle in games of the magnitude against Indiana, a team with a competitive pulse, home game, and then the Big Ten championship game against Northwestern. I mean, this team is fielded with a bunch of Reese Davises, right? Ohio State's supposed to have way more talent than Northwestern, but they gave them all they could handle, and they had to go to the running game to end up winning that game. So to watch him struggle in big games is something none of us saw coming this season, and it's really interesting to see how he's going to go out here against Clemson, because this team is going to be the best defense he's faced all season long.
So, David, on the other side, Clemson, they're going to be without their offensive coordinator, Tony Elliotts. I wonder how much that might impact a game like this.
Oh, I mean, it definitely has an impact. You're talking about taking the guy that is responsible for the mojo, the juice, the play calling, the getting a quarterback in a rhythm. I know you got Trevor Lawrence, but when you look at Tony Elliotts, he's been doing this since 2014, and he's been a steady voice. He's a calm presence. Like, I think that, remember, him and Jeff Scott were co-coordinators, and Jeff Scott took the USF job, this past offseason. So I think it's a tremendous blow to this Clemson offense. And, when you need a play and you need that moment or you need to adjust, like, how does it look? Like, I'm not saying Brandon Streeter can't do it if he's the guy that fills in, but he hasn't done it before. And now, hey, you know what? You haven't done it before, but go do it at the national championship semifinal. Go have fun with that.
Yeah, right. And, by the way, Tony Elliotts tested positive for COVID-19. We certainly wish him well. Desmond, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I echo those sentiments, too. I wish Tony Elliotts well. I think that, it's going to have an impact. How much of an impact, I'm not sure. I'd put it to you like this, though, guys. If I'm a Clemson Tigers fan, what will give me some confidence going to this game would be that we have Trevor Lawrence. He's a #1 projected overall pick in the NFL draft. He's been in big games before against great competition, so he's not going to panic. And he's a guy who's looked at as an eraser. Don't forget, you got Travis Etienne, too, another guy, senior leadership. He's been in big games before. And let's not forget Dabo Swinney. Do you think for 1 minute that Dabo Swinney, who's an offensive-minded coach, just said, hey, take my offense and do what you want with it? No, he's going to have some input into this, too. So when you have guys who've played on this stage before against great competition, if I'm a Clemson Tigers fan, that would give me a sense of comfort.
So, Dave, we got just a couple seconds left. What does Ohio State need to do to win this game?
I think Ohio State's defense has to play better than we've seen them play yet. Like, they're gonna have their hands full with Trevor Lawrence, obviously, but that defense is gonna have to step up and play extremely disciplined and not blow assignments, not blow coverages. They've done a lot of that throughout this season. I think their defense is gonna have to play big.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.